Hey guys, so my name is Leon, and today we're going over episode 13 of Big Brother 22, aka Big Brother All Stars. With that being said, let's just get right into the episode. So the episode starts off with Cousins being a replacement nominee for Kevin, who wins the veto. She's essentially the new pawn against Kesa, who's the main target to be taken out. Um, the episode goes off, not even goes off, the episode goes into Enzo and Cody talking about how much they don't trust Devon, not Devon, how much they don't trust Danny. Well, they don't trust Devon either, but in this part, they talk about how much they don't trust Danny, how Danny's planting seeds against people in the alliance, and how Danny's playing a messy game. While Cody, he doesn't trust Danny. He trusts Danny more than Devon, so he's trying to stir Enzo to target Devon first, while Enzo's trying to convince Cody to target Danny first. And in their conversation with Tyler, you're gonna see a lot more of them debating who they want gone first, Devon or Danny. But anyways, let's continue to move forward. Kesa and Memphis talk. Kesa tries to convince Memphis to go after essentially the Cody, Danny, Tyler, and Nicole Franzo team. But unfortunately for Kesa, that conversation goes nowhere for him because he thinks that Memphis is in on his head, but in actuality, where he later gets that Memphis is part of the alliances and stuff like that. So that conversation doesn't go anywhere for him. Then once again, Tyler, Enzo, and Cody talk, and they talk about how they want to target either Devon or Danny. But Cody, even though he doesn't trust Danny, he knows Danny is better for his game than Devon, so he wants Devon out preferably. But Tyler, he trusts Devon more than Danny, and as long as Enzo wants Danny gone before Devon, and then Devon can go. So we'll see which of the boys and who gets away first. But it's not looking good for Danny or Devon, especially with Danny who's playing very messy and Devon who's playing very paranoid. So we'll see if any of the ladies can save themselves in the next upcoming weeks. And then it gets to the segment of Ian, him and Kevin talk, and they basically essentially talk about who's running it, and they come to the conclusion that Cody and Nicole is running the house, and the fact that Danny's on the outside of it, where we know that Danny has some control, but it's losing that control in the alliances that they all have. So Ian knows that he cannot fully trust Nicole fans anymore, so he knows in his heart of hearts that he needs to begin to plan a contingency against the alliances so he can have the control of the house and he can put himself a better chance to win. And he talks about this with Kesa later on. He essentially says, hey Kesa, I cannot vote for you to say because you don't have the votes, but what I can do is, like, if you're able to blow up the game for me, maybe something like that can happen. But Kesa also knows he has no chance to stay, so Kesa appreciates that Ian came to him. But at the same time, it makes Ian upset because Ian, from a personal perspective, wants to keep Kesa here, but doesn't have the numbers. So we'll see what that leads up to. So Ian talks with Bailey, say, hey Bailey, who are you working with? Try to get an honest answer out of her. Bailey doesn't really tell Ian who she's working with. She just says that, hey, I have people in my alliance, but really doesn't really say who she's working with. But Ian says, hey, Cody's running things, but Bailey's saying, hey, Danny's running things. But the thing is, though, and hopefully that they can probably get on the same page in the alliances down the line. But Bailey is trying to get Ian to target Danny, while Ian is trying to get Bailey to target Cody. So I don't see them working together, but maybe they could work together down the line. Who knows? But anyways, the segment continues. Well, there's no segment, but basically the episode continues on, and essentially Kesa, by the bitching time, Kesa ends up having this big speech about who's running the game, who has the numbers. Essentially, he calls out Cody, Nicole, Danny, and Tyler. And Tyler and Cody kind of take it decently well, while Danny and Nicole, I just seen when Casey gets evicted, takes it terribly. They really, upset or kind of pissed off by their faces, anyways. That Casey tries to call them out, but I think Casey calling out the call for, I think it helps. It hurts Tyler the least because Tyler has been, as you see throughout the episode, Tyler's already putting his seeds in place. He's been manifested with Devon and Bailey, for example, and is really trying to set himself up for the later on in the game. And if he gets complete trust of Devon and Bailey back, I mean, he already has trust in Bailey, but if he gets trust in Devon back, then Tyler is in a better position. But if Cody, Nicole, Danny don't win, especially Danny, she needs to win this HOH, and they could be in some trouble down the line, because even guys like Ian are turning on the three of them. But anyways, as we all know, towards the end of the episode, Kesa is evicted 10-0. There's no sympathy or swing votes or pinky votes thrown towards Kesa. Kesa gets out of there. Enzo had a good HOH. He got the target one out, and he got what he wanted out of the HOH week. But it's still sad to see Casey go. Casey is a legend of the game. He never made jury. He's someone who's loved by many people. He's very thoughtful, very kind and courageous, and he's a good person. He's very smart too. Even when Julie asked him, "Hey, you came to win the game?" Casey said not necessarily. Casey said he wanted to bring issue to what's going on socially around the world and everything. And I think it's a nice heartwarming moment. So I wish Casey the best. It's not that he was a terrible player. He had essentially nowhere to go because him and Janelle just didn't play the first few weeks well. But I'm glad that Casey came back to play, and it was good to see him. But anyways, that's it. Well, that's not it, but going on to the last part of the episode, Christmas wins HOH, and Devon, I'm surprised how close Devon almost won it. And to be honest, if Devon win it, we would have had a really interesting week. But I'm damn glad Christmas win it, because it forces Christmas. It's bad for Christmas' game because she shouldn't have won it, but it's good for Christmas in terms of like she's forced to now choose a side. She cannot be like, oh, I'm going to do whatever I want. Now she has to choose a side, and she's putting arms up. Someone like Ian might be in trouble, but who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching. More recaps coming soon. And adios.